You ever have one of those days? You know the ones where it feels like you're pushing a giant boulder uphill and it just keeps rolling back down? We've all been there. So today, we're going to talk about what to do on those days. How to build a mindset that doesn't just survive the struggle, but actually gets stronger because of it. Let's dive in. I bet we all know someone like this, right? The person who gets hit with setback after setback, but somehow they just keep on going. And you look at them and you just have to wonder, how are they doing that? Well, it's not magic, and it's not something you're born with. It's a skill, and it's built on a very specific way of thinking. And let's be really clear about something. This is not about toxic positivity. An unbreakable mindset isn't about slapping a smile on your face and pretending everything's great when it's not. No way. It's about looking at the whole mess, acknowledging that, yeah, this is hard, and then deciding to find one small way to move forward anyway. So to build that kind of mindset, we're going to break down 5 really powerful habits. We'll talk about starting before you feel ready, how to see failure as just feedback, focusing on what you can actually control, why you need to prioritize mental recovery, and finally, how to master that inner voice. Okay, first up, let's just completely demolish one of the biggest myths that holds so many people back. This idea that you have to feel confident before you can get started. Yeah, we have this image that mentally strong people just wake up feeling motivated and fearless. But the truth? They feel the fear and they act anyway. I mean, think of your favorite hero, right? Maybe someone like Tanjiro from Demon Slayer. He was terrified when he first started his journey to save his sister. His courage wasn't about not having fear. It was about acting in spite of it. The action had to come first. And doing that, taking that first scary step, it leads to this really powerful psychological concept called self-efficacy. This isn't just wishful thinking. It's that quiet confidence that comes from looking back at your own life and realizing, hey, I've handled tough things before. I can probably handle this too. Every single small win literally strengthens the pathways in your brain, building a real, tangible belief that you are capable. So how do you actually start building this? It's simple. Forget about trying to climb the whole mountain at once. That's overwhelming. Just ask yourself this one question. What's one small step I can take right now? That's it. Every tiny action you take is like a vote you cast for your own resilience. Now, if you start taking action, you're inevitably going to run into our next topic, failure. It's just part of the game. But what if we've been looking at it all wrong this whole time? Failure has this way of hitting us right where it hurts, you know? It whispers in your ear that maybe you're just not cut out for this. But that's a lie. Think about a character like Naruto. He was seen as a total failure for years. His legendary strength came from his absolute refusal to let those losses define who he was going to become. So here's the reframe. The next time you have a setback, don't ask, what's wrong with me? Instead, ask 2 simple questions. Okay, what did I learn from this? And what would I try differently next time? And just like that, failure isn't a dead end anymore. It's a lesson. It's just valuable data for your next attempt. This brings us to a really powerful, ancient idea from Stoic philosophy that is, I think, more relevant today than ever. And it's the art of knowing exactly where to focus your energy. I mean, just think about all the energy we waste stressing about things we have zero control over. What someone else thinks of us, something that happened in the past, some random unexpected event. Resilient people make a conscious choice to pull their focus back to that small circle of things they can control. And you know what's in that circle? Your actions, your responses, and your effort. That's pretty much it. So the next time you feel completely overwhelmed, I want you to just stop, take a breath, and ask yourself this one question. What is one part of this situation that I can actually influence right now? It might be your breath, it might be your next tiny action, or just your perspective. Find that one thing, because that is where your power is. All right, our 4th point is one that our modern hustle culture gets completely wrong. We think strength comes from constantly pushing, from grinding nonstop. But the truth is, real strength is built during rest. We've been sold this bill of goods that grinding 24/7 is the only path to success. But you know where that path leads? Straight to burnout. A professional athlete knows that growth doesn't happen during the workout, it happens during recovery. Well, your brain is a muscle. It needs that downtime to rebuild and actually get stronger. And recovery doesn't have to be some week-long vacation. It can be a walk without your phone. It can be a decent night's sleep. It's taking a 5-minute break from your screen. The key here is to start seeing rest not as a reward you get for hard work, but as a vital responsibility you have for doing good work in the first place. And that brings us to our fifth and final pillar. And this one might be the most important of all, mastering the most influential voice in your entire life, the one that's inside your own head. We are so often our own worst critics, aren't we? That voice that just loves to tell you you're not good enough, that you messed up again. It's time to fire that inner critic and instead hire an inner coach. The easiest way to do this? Just ask yourself, how would I talk to my best friend if they were in this exact situation? Then say that to yourself. And seriously, this is number one for a reason. Self-compassion is not about making excuses. It's about giving yourself the same grace and support you would give to someone you truly care about, because that's what gives you the strength to get back up and try again. So, after going through all of this, what's the one big thing to remember when you're having one of those really tough days? It's this whole thing is about progress, not perfection. It's about choosing to act even when you're scared. It's about learning from a failure instead of letting it crush you. It's about focusing your energy on that one small thing you can control, giving yourself the rest you desperately need, and speaking to yourself like a friend. Any forward movement, no matter how small, is a win. So I'll leave you with this. True strength isn't about never feeling tired or discouraged or overwhelmed. Of course you're going to feel those things. Strength is about continuing to care about your life, even when, especially when, things feel hard. Every time you make that choice, every time you take that one little step, you are building an unbreakable mindset. So as we close this out, I really want you to think about this for yourself. Based on everything we just talked about,